Okay, so today we're going to talk about Efiles. This is part one of a two-part video. Let's get started.
Why use an Efile?
Okay, so I get asked this all the time. Why use an Efile? First of all, it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of effort. Hand filing is exhausting and time consuming. So in the long run, it's going to be less tiring if you're doing a full day's work, and you're going to be able to fit more clients in because you're not filing for as long a time. You're also going to be more precise as to where you're filing, so you're going to have better results at the end, and also when you're preparing the nail, you're going to cause a lot less damage because you can see where you're going and where you need to go. So that is why I would use an Efile.
Do I need special training to use an Efile?
Absolutely, yes. Training is essential if you want to use an Efile. It's a very dangerous piece of equipment if used incorrectly, and should only be used if you're in training or you've qualified. This is not only to protect your clients as well as yourself, and it's also necessary if you want to have cover from insurance. You need a certificate to be able to be covered with your insurance with an Efile.
Things to consider before buying an Efile.
So first you need to consider is your budget. Buying a cheap one is not going to save you money because it won't have the right power, won't last as long. But then again, you don't need to buy a super duper expensive one because, you know, that might not last you either. What I would go for is between £50 and £100. That's what I usually spend. It lasts 1 to 2 years. The reason why I replace it every year is because in the UK we have to have pack testing for any electrical equipment over a year old, and that costs money, so it's just easier to buy a cheap one and replace it once a year than having the correct electrical paperwork done. Next thing to consider is brand. Just because it's a big brand, a famous brand that does nails, or it's very pretty, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a better drill. So avoid buying big brands that it's just you're just paying for that aesthetic and that name rather than the quality of the product.
How to choose the right Efile for you.
So with so many models on the market, so many different prices, which one are you going to pick? First requirement you need to have is it needs to be a minimum of 35,000 RPMs. So that's how fast the head of the drill bit is going to be turning. We need it at 35,000. Anything lower than that, it's not going to be any good because the motor is not going to be powerful enough for what we need it for. Next, read the reviews. It's really important what other people are saying about it, especially people that work in salons and they're using that piece of equipment. Are they happy with it? You want to look for minimal vibration, otherwise it's not comfortable for the client, and a low sound. So low sound, minimal vibration should be the features on your drill as well as the 35 RPM.
Which Efile do I currently use with my clients and why I love it?
Okay, so this is the drill that I use. It's a Helme model they've brought out recently. It has a really strong motor of 40,000 RPMs. It's very quiet and it barely vibrates, so that's great for my clients. It's lightweight, it's portable. So it's really good if you're doing mobile work, you want a portable drill rather than a station drill, or if you're working in different stations, moving around the salon, you've got different areas for doing your pedicures and your manicures, it's better to have one that you can clip onto your belt, a portable drill. Another reason I bought it is because it's also rechargeable, so you just plug it in and then charge it for a couple of hours, and then you can take the wire, the charging wire out, and it's basically cordless. You can kind of move around with it, the wire doesn't get in the way, and it's really good. Really great for mobile as well. It's got variable speed dial on the actual motor rather than a foot pedal, which I prefer. The foot pedal scare me a little bit. So I prefer a dial on the actual machine. That's just personal preference. It's got an LCD sort of display, so I can see what speed I'm at, and it's also got like a pause button, so I don't have to turn it all the way off with the dial. I can just pause it at that speed when I need to stop using it, and a forward and backwards rotation for the drill bit head. Goes for left-handed and right-handed use. Some research and independent websites, top products, it came 4th in the best professional drill category with the best at 40,000 RPMs. It was one of the best ones to buy, and it was super cheap at only $41.99 on Amazon with warranty as well. So I know it's going to last me minimum a year. $41.99 is really affordable, especially for that kind of product at that sort of level of motor, and it's just really, really good. I really love it. So do my clients because it's comfortable, and yeah, I'd recommend this drill. So if you want the link to it, please let me know. Give me a message. Obviously, I'm not advocating any brands specifically. I'm not brand sort of affiliated with anyone. I just think it's a great drill for the money. If you like this video, sorry it's so long, but if you enjoyed it and it was informative, please give us a like. To watch part 2, just give us a follow on here or on Instagram, and I'll be covering the sort of drill bits that you need to have in order to use your drill in the best, most effective way.